Good morning, folks. Good morning. I like when people are talking. It's great. I love having people here in the house. We're broadcasting live from the offices of Styles Construction in beautiful downtown Fort Lauderdale. My name is Carlos Capito. I'm the Executive Director of the South Florida Chapter of the Associated General Contractors of America. Welcome. Thank you to everybody joining us online. Today is April 13th. It is the April 2022 edition of our monthly second Wednesday safety session, and we are very happy to have you here with us today. Just a couple quick reminders before we get started with Daniel Ibison from RoadSafe. We have quite a few events coming up. Tomorrow, in fact, we have our Amateur Sommelier and Construction Expert Series event, sponsored by our friends at DDS CAD. We're going to be talking about data security. So if you're worried about folks logging into your system, actually breaking into your system, your folks getting catfished, there's still time to register. You can go to our website, sfagc.org, and register for that event. The following week, next Thursday, we have an event for our Young Constructors Forum. Our Young Constructors Forum is actually going to be hosting their Leaders and Legends series, the first in that series. They are going to be welcoming Brad Meltzer. Brad's going to be talking about his career and sharing his wisdom with folks that are the young leaders within your organization. It's a very affordable event. We're going to be at Unbranded Brewery in downtown Hialeah, the Leah Arts District. So make sure you come out and join us for that. Also, we have our Contractors and Clays, our Sporting Clays event. We have 4 team openings left. That's an awesome event. We'll be doing Sporting Clays out of Quail Creek Plantation in Okeechobee, Florida. The place is worth the drive, and I hear their brisket is amazing. So make sure you come and have fun with us. If you don't have a shotgun, it's not a problem. You can rent them there on site. Other than that, let's get the show on the road. Today, this is National, give me the week, Mr. You can come into the camera, sir. You can come into the camera.
It's National Work Zone Safety Awareness Week.
So it's National Work Zone Safety Awareness Week. Wasn't today supposed to be Wear Orange?
Yes.
Today was supposed to be Wear Orange.
I did not.
I didn't get the memo, but I forgot this morning. Anyways, but orange does go with the suit I'm wearing today. But I'm going to turn things over to Daniel. It's the second time Daniel's presenting with us. He did a fantastic job. He was here last time, and we're happy to have him here again. So that being said, Mr. Ibison, the floor is yours, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Let's get started. It's National Work Zone Awareness Week. Of course, it runs the whole week. That's why you're seeing all the billboards all over the state are all flashing work zone slow down. There's been several legal changes in Florida, namely adding green if you're on a highway to the back of any of your equipment. So they changed some of the color a little bit, and red, I believe, as well. Which is unique for Florida especially. But this is the annual spring campaign, how the start of the construction season. Well, start season never ends here. Basically, the key message is to use drivers to use extra caution in work zones. It's held this week, sponsored by VDOT. Well, the kickoff is sponsored by ATSA.
Yeah, share your screen.
No. There. That one. Sponsored by ATSA. ATSA is the American Traffic Safety Association, which is where all those standards are written off of. MOT plans across the board. They're just a main organization. Theme: slow down. Work zones are assigned to slow down. I'm not going to read a lot of this because it's just covering their week of what they do. But today's Go Orange Day. Of course, everyone's supposed to post your orange pics to social media. Stats, these aren't exactly pretty even during the pandemic. In 2020, 857 people were killed in 774 fatal work zone crashes. And I don't know if that's final or not. What many fail to recognize is the vast majority of people killed in the work zone are motorists and the passengers. Orlando had a MOT worker killed in February. He was totally perfect shutdown lane. The jogger left. And a driver came through, struck him, killed him on impact. Hit another driver, almost hit the cop, and then ran into the police. So he leaves behind a wife and an 8-year-old kid. So it's on for sure. So in 2020, 117 of the 857 fatalities were work zone workers. This year they're on track to clip Saturday, clip that because of the amount of work that's up there. There's so much work going on everywhere. And the number one problem we have with everybody is this time. Okay, Florida is an instant fine, regardless of the catch you know, be on it. It's in your hand. It's for a substantial fine. It's still going to work zone. You don't have to be texting it. You just get called in your hand. The police unfortunately don't have a lot of spots to really enforce it. But I've seen them do it, and they will do it, especially when they're working on side details. We're going to focus on the main thing is this new technology that's come out. It's called smart work zones. This is there's multiple types of cloud-based real-time devices. Okay, so basically, when you're on Waze and Google Maps, you know when you look at your things and it's on you, it slows down. It's because data is being grabbed off the cell phones coming through the work zones and it's being fed to the cloud. This is the whole next level stuff that basically we call cloud trailers, along with real-time speed limits, speed control. If there's a rapid speed limit, slow down on their own. It does about 100 different things, and it does it automatically. They can preset it. They can preset it all, or have someone monitor it. So this is not a sales pitch to one particular company. The key thing in here is all language is universal. So there's several major manufacturers of it. It does not matter. The manufacturers of it, all the stuff works together. So they actually talk. This is a new platform that just came out.
Communication, what a concept.
Yeah.
So some of those apps also ask for responses while you're going through those zones. So isn't that a little bit of a conflict?
Yeah.
of
We push to the third party, and that's as far as we go, but I totally agree. Get people hitting their.
Yeah, you know, is that accident still there? Is that cop still there or whatnot?
Yeah, and it's people.
Yeah,
Ways
yeah.
that, but the system is getting better and better and better. Next part, I already saw it in ads last year, this past year. They have new camera trailers with LiDAR looking down range at night. So you can see a car moving into the construction zone a mile out with LiDAR. It doesn't matter what kind of weather it's in, it doesn't matter, to see through it. And you basically can red box the car and send the alert to the far end. So if they're coming into your work zone, I don't care if it's a side street, downtown, wherever, the system can pick it up. So that's coming. Some of the newer technology that's coming out. Truck entry and exit system. This is a huge tool, especially for the GCs on this call. You can use it in downtown environments. You can use it on the highway. You can use it pretty much wherever you want. And it's pretty simple. It's basically a message board sitting there, or one or two, however you want to have it set up. And wherever the truck entry or exit point is, when the truck comes up, it hits the point, trips the sensor, and the board goes live. It can be up to a mile away, half mile away, however you want. That's all RF frequency. And it's instantaneous. The second is tripped within like 3 seconds, the board's live down. So merging on the highways, instead of we all get bombarded with information driving down the highway. Nobody pays attention to it. Trucks are in highway, trucks are in highway. Well, I can give you a mile, half mile, quarter mile warning in real time when a truck's actually pulling out. You know, left lane's congested, versus right, anything along that line. This new system has been proven already. They just missed testing. We can cut wrecks down in the work zones by as much as 40%. Texas tested it because it's an advanced warning system, and it's only ever active when there's a truck in the work zone. So it's not sitting there all day long just picking away. It's all solar, it's all self-contained, and it's all wireless. It's highly portable. So if you need to move to the other side, you can pick up the trailers, move to the other side, and move the sensor. The sensor consists of just two paddles that are about this tall, with a little device on there that comes across when any vehicle enters it. So if you have employees merging back into traffic, anybody merging back into traffic, especially if you're working in the median. So we can slow traffic down with that, because you can sync that entry system to the smart work zone. The smart work zone will lower the speed limit when trucks are in. In theory, people should slow down, but odds are they do, they get speed. So, and the overall cost of the contractor is the same thing as running some message boards. So the cost is insignificant versus one accident. One accident, anyone getting hurt, we all know it's going to be a ton of money and a ton of paperwork and investigations that you have to want to do. So the system is really, it's pretty self-explanatory. I can report to third parties, of course, via Waze and Google. Better zone control based on actual data from that spot, so it's not universal. So this is basically, it's all being pushed by the U.S. Department of Transportation now. They actually have them called intelligent work zones, or ITS. And we call them SWZ, smart work zones, because ours are portable. So I could pull up, we have a job site in Nevada right now that's running live online that I can click on there and see everything that's going on in the work zone. Speeds, average speeds, traffic flows, it's telling me everything. So when traffic picks up in the morning for rush hour in Nevada, they can lower it down if they want to. Or, hey, there's no traffic, we put the speed back up to normal. Basic worksheet, just feasibility for work or not. So is it congested speeds, chronic speeding, what's the major issue? What's the major problem? So the key factors are less than 4 months, 4 to 10 months, or greater than a year. Minimal, moderate, significant as far as the impacts to the user. So for the contractor, it's literally as easy as putting on a message board, I kid you not. So the other systems get a lot more complex because they're very intuitive with the thing. They work for site distance. Down here, one big thing is the company was telling me too, if you have a smart work zone, we get a lot of fog and smoke. Fog's been a real problem in the morning. They can literally log into the system and hit 2 keys and change the message boards on the fly to whatever fog, slow down, they lower the speed limit to in real time, fog's lifted, bring the speed back up. The whole point of the entire system is there's nobody standing in traffic. You're behind a wall or you're not even there. This can be remote monitored from anywhere in the country with the internet. Doesn't matter. So, but it's all protected. It's you can push to your cell phone or push to whatever you want. You control it. So some of the many things we can do, of course, the truck entry system, queue warnings, travel alerts, variable speed limits, and then a zipper. They call it zipper, basically like a zipper that you merge stagger like this one do. Give you an idea, this is a full-fledged smart work zone. Come around here. Basically portable, it's got the sensors, picks them up, lane closed, it's all controlled, free flow, slow, and then stop. So as traffic stopped, not be prepared to stop, it can say traffic is stopped, accident ahead, middle lane completely blocked. You pick it because you're controlling what's saying on the boards. Basic message board, this just gets dumb based on what you program. The new ones with the jam logic they put on now is all controlled. This is where everything's headed. In the next 2 years, you're going to see it on absolutely everything. And they're going to be pushing more real-time data to the cars. This particular company in, let's say, June of this year is in Michigan with General Motors, and they are piloting the new, basically, the autonomous vehicles that when the work zone slows down, this is, say you're driving along, it's 55 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour, 65, whatever. And the speed zone picks it up, the car knows, and the car will begin to slow itself down to react to traffic. Correct. Yeah, this is just the beginning of it. He said, give it 10 years, everything will like Tesla will be integrated into this. This will be integrated into the car will be integrated into this. So it's all going to be connected. And the trailers are literally just I don't know if I find a picture of one. It's literally just a trailer with a tower on it. That's all it is. And it basically pushes it to the cloud. So, any questions? So that's essentially what's left. That's all it is. Looks like the orange lights, but in the light, it's got the radar, the modem with the GPS, lithium battery, and solar regulator. I know Florida doesn't really care for the orange lights, but it doesn't light up. It's just your radar is what it is. So there's also smart work board, there's message boards and then arrow boards, and the two of them talk to each other. So if the arrow boards are part of the smart work zone and an accident occurs, the arrow board will automatically kick on because it knows what's going on in the work zone, and cars to the left, to the right. So it just knows. It's when I mean it's intuitive, based on the sensors and the flow of traffic, it figures out what's going on. So this is self-contained completely. That right there, it's a solar panel, so it's all that. The whole point is you don't have to go out and change batteries or this. So it's all max rated. We've had these on 3 job sites in Miami-Dade, and we have a massive one on I-75 at the MLK interchange in Tampa that is getting ready to go in. That involves like 38 units across the board, and the state's watching that like very, very closely because it's going to be the first real heavy traffic trial here in the state. We've used it all over the place. It's not really a trial, but the state of Florida it is. So basically, so that's what microwave trailers look like. Is this right here? See my you can't do it. That's what the trailers look like. So that's what's telling you the sensors of what's going on. So bidirectional lanes, lane by lane traffic data, speed. You can go up to 10 lanes across. I've asked the question, this is, I'm sure they're going to be working on it, it's coming. There's a lot of sections of the state that tractor trailers are not allowed in the left-hand lanes. There's systems coming along where they're smart enough when tractor trailers in the left-hand lane, the authorities will know what's going on, or it shouldn't be there. So, and at the end of the day, all this feeds back up to the cloud. So if there's ever a lawsuit or an accident, they want to know who, what, where, when, and how, it's all recorded. Oh, wow. So they know. So the insurance companies love it because it's helping really identify what's going on.
So they were just passing.
Yeah, it's kind of passing the ball literally. So there's with Doppler. This is a 3 PCMS message boards with Doppler and 2 sensors. So it's basically how the whole flow works out. It's a lot. I mean, every time I ask a question, I'm like, oh yeah, it can do that too. So there's typical of 2 and 3. There's all these, as I said, there's 20 different setups. And each one of these are boards. So actually, there'd be 2 here, so you have 2 boards here, 2 boards here, and then none there. And it's controlling what's going on. So based on the speed. So it can be the work zone, you can move them over, try to move them over, or shift them around as you need. Truck entry system, just like I described. This seems to have the most teeth because it's just 2 message boards and a sensor that we can do. We can set it up wherever they want on the fly. And they think if it prevents one accident, it's worth every bit of it. So, and since it's real time. Safety and expensive. I know it's a lot. I just literally touched on it. I went through 3 days of training, so it works out. It's really how much you can't do. We also have new sensors that are on the market that everyone has now too, that can tell when the guardrail and crash cushions get hit, because it sends a signal back to the maintenance company, like the Turnpike's looking at it right now for all the problem children, as they call it, that get struck repetitively. So those cushions you see sticking out in the concrete walls, yeah, those things are really expensive, and they're stuck paying for the repair and replacing those when they get hit. So these sensors are about the size of my cell phone when I sit on there, and if it gets struck on the end and sends a signal to it, they can then go back to the police report and say, hey, did the vehicle strike? Was there an accident involving? Yeah, there was. Great. Whose vehicle hit? Because now all of a sudden we're building the insurance company to get it fixed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because you're talking.
I thought it was a myth.
You're talking.
Not that I ever did that.
Yeah. Well, they have 24 hours by state law to fix it. So if they get struck, they get 24 hours and that's it. So they're under the gun to get it fixed in a hurry. Well, at the end of the day, once it's fixed, all right, well, who's responsible for it? A lot of them are hit and runs. They just get hit and someone just keeps running go. So average repair is 10 to 15 grand when you strike a cushion on the end. They're expensive because it's all about liability for those things. But the sensors give them a lot more sense of when it was struck. So if it's Saturday night and there's a major accident, they can say, okay, vehicle A hit the cushion caused the accident. Okay, great. Well, vehicle A's insurance have to be responsible for fixing, paying for that. Because the troopers don't do a really good job documenting that physical damage to other cars. They don't really look at stuff on the highways, the walls, the guardrail. Guardrail being metal, the price of those things is about 5 times what it was a year ago. Yeah, you're looking, I've already pushing like $125 a foot per foot, and I've seen 400 or 500 feet for getting. Then there's a labor to install it all, so they charge you more. So, but that's all I got. It's short and sweet, anyways. Let's see questions.
Yeah, I'm curious, how does this apply to controlling a job site? Let's not say the road contractors, let's say the person that's building downtown. How would this serve them?
Truck entry system for sure. Entry and exit, loading and unloading. So you're in a downtown environment, it sucks getting a truck and trailers, okay, recording. How you doing that? Well, usually if you're closing a lane, you're doing something. Well, you could have a message board at the edge of your job site for your lane closure ahead, truck loading and unloading, and basically it's tripped by the sensor based on whatever you want. Or you can pre-program and just hit your phone. You don't need the sensor. The truck's coming in, left lane closed, bang, windows locked. Generally, if you're closing a lane anywhere in downtown traffic for more than 3 hours, you're going to need an MOT plan and a permit to do it anyways. And that's fine. You can do that. But it's a hassle for y'all because you never know when the trucks are going to show up. You know when the rebar truck's showing up. So the whole point is to lessen the hassle. And that's the boards can actually help with it. And it's actually a part of your MOT plan as well. So, but the only big issue we have is big boards downtown. There's nowhere to really set them because there's no space. Like down here, where do you go? We have what they call metro boards. Use one you set on the edge of the sidewalk, and it's half the size of normal boards. It's like 4 feet by 6 feet in size. Like the one sitting down on the boulevard right now. It's because they can't get 11 by 14s in it. Too big. They'll get hit. So.
Any other questions?
To use this equipment, training, you said you did it for like 3 days.
Oh, I do all the training your guys like that. It's just more to the point of where the information goes to. So once it's set, it's set. It can go to the phone, email, whatever, website. A lot of the live systems all push to a website that the contractor sets up that they see. They're controlling it. We're not involved with it at all. The contractor safety people can come in. Hey, was there an accident, drop that accident last night? Yeah, there was. Great. What the system do, help mediate that, did it do what it's supposed to do. And if there was a camera nearby, it would have recorded. Cameras on these sites are becoming really commonplace. That's where those trailers come in. It's just pushing data and video 24/7 to the cloud. Because it is about liability for the contractor. And frankly, it saves a life, it's worth it. So.
How much does it cost? It's vary depending on the application.
Your average message board is $1,800 a month. So nothing crazy. You only need it for a week, fine. You pay by the day. You know, with $1,800 would include the radar with it too. Up to it. You can take a regular message board if you have a jam logic on it, but all the new ones we're buying, I think Bob, Acme, all my competition, they all come with the jam logic on it now. Because this is the state's pushing this. This is where it's at. It really is. Eventually, I see these temporary works being tied into the permanent state ITS system. That literally, it's on one massive network and it's all talking to each other. So the state in Tallahassee during a hurricane event, this system will be talking to Tallahassee emails. It could be set up on the fly in a hurry. Monitoring traffic with other temporary cameras or actual speeds. They wouldn't even need cameras. They could sit and watch the feed and tell us the average speed of travel coming through it. Hey, we need to open another lane. Yeah, for emergency planning, it's a big deal. How much? Enrique asked, how much message boards will help reduce accidents or injuries for a fellow road workforce? Enrique, the company Firmac that did this, that they did the study in Texas, actually a third party did the study in Texas, it was 40 to 47%. So based on what the smart work stuff being used, how they did the test, that's just what I was told.
And so smart geek on the computer hack it, create havoc for you.
Well, message boards get hacked all the time when someone walking up in the password. usually highly inappropriate content being on it. Yeah. I've seen some good ones because it's public. You can YouTube the password and the name of the board. We go in and change all of them on purpose. In fact, the new smart work zones allow you to even put a complex password in and nobody's going to figure it out. Is it hackable? Yeah, everything's hackable. But it's really RF. If the data packets being sent from the site to the website are worthless and nothing. So unless they got in and actually change what the message was said, they'd be in. And I think you have to have the, I know it's encrypted.
For payoff.
You did pay your bill.
Chaos.
Yeah. So we've had several, I've heard of several horror stories of message boards getting changed, what they're supposed to say. So, or people just turning them off, or, by the way, one big thing is theft. Yeah, we all know batteries are stolen, the cost. All new message boards have stealth technology, which means you're not gonna find the batteries. They're not these big, huge, deep cycle marine batteries that everybody wants to steal, because they're, $350 a battery, and there's 12 of them in there, but they ship it safe. The brand I carry, we will not find the batteries. They're hidden. You have to literally rip the entire board apart to get some battery packs that are worthless to you. And that's the point. Besides, there's GPS on it now, multiple GPS, so it's going to know who, what, where, when, how. If you move it. You can geofence your equipment, by the way, with this technology, that if it moves and it's not supposed to move, you're going to know. You can do that with construction equipment. You can do that with pretty much anything you got. Any of the major construction companies, every piece of mechanical equipment you rent probably has a GPS tracker on it. My former employer, I can tell you right now, they do. And it's for tracking purposes, use purposes. Diesel consumption is telling you everything. But at the weekend, if it's not supposed to move and your son's, how did it run 30 hours this weekend? This your subcontractor is using and burning your fuel and can tell you. Okay, well now you know what was going on, who was on, it's something that it would be. So the amount of technology that's starting to appear in the business is about time, especially in the highways. Something's got to be done about it. It's just, it's not getting any better. In fact, it's getting worse. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Drivers usually don't listen to their SIGs, so we get as much as we can. Sure, can't make them listen.
And those drivers don't listen to their signals.
Yeah.
So you're trying, gotta get their attention as much as possible. I got you.
Yeah, that trooper with the blue lights usually does it though.
That's the only thing that's been proven to actually slow cars down in construction. Is a literally trooper sitting there or a cop sitting there at a significant amount of money per hour. Miami-Dade, I think everything we do now, OSHA says, fine. And we've had very few problems. We have, the cops are, even though they're working on private details, they're still writing tickets because workers are, we had a guy get grazed in Daytona 2 weeks ago. Truck doing 65 miles an hour through the 35. Yeah.
That's what they're doing right now.
Running the track.
Yeah, but because guys are taking golf carts across the street and all that stuff to move around. We're not supposed to take off-road vehicles into the roadways.
We can usually can't find it. They're so tapped out between the regular work schedule they have and we want all night. And the rates just keep going higher and higher and higher. So, and each city gets touchy. If you're working in Fort Lauderdale, you better get the local police department first option to say no. Because if you don't, it usually doesn't go over well. When all of a sudden, counties and areas, states and state highway, they don't get so much about. But a private road like this, no, that's county, that's city control. So. Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Ibison? Daniel, thank you very much, man. Very informative.
So shoot, the cop there, people pay attention, just a little bit.
So what I'd like to do, we have a special guest, so I'd like to give him an opportunity to let us know what's going on. John Segovia with 811, awesome member of our organization, of our safety community. So I'd like to give John an opportunity to speak. Thank you, Carlos.
Good morning, everyone. Good.
Just to provide a quick update, I'm John Segovia with Sunshine 811. I'm the South Florida Safety Education Representative for 811, covering 9 counties here from Indian River County down to Monroe, Okeechobee, and Collier County. So we have been very busy these last couple of years. Ticket volumes have come up. And one of the things is folks are getting the message. So our efforts are showing a lot of more people are notifying 811 before they start excavation, before they start demolition work. And that's a good thing because it's based on the state law. We're based on chapter 556. So we have been seeing increased volumes in tickets. If you have not been to our website, sunshine811.com, please take a look. We also have some toolkits, and April is National Safe Digging Month. It's that time of the year where our northern neighbors are, the snow is gone and they're going out and doing some digging projects. Of course, here in Florida, it's safe digging every day of the year because of the great weather, right? But on a national level, April is recognized as Safe Digging Month. So we actually put a toolkit on our website, sunshine811.com/toolkit, where you can go and help spread the message about safe digging. So there's infographics there. There's also messaging that you can take and utilize for your social media, or maybe a blog that you want to help spread awareness of 811. It's a free service to the excavator. And as a homeowner, if you're digging in your own property or you hire someone to do the digging work, you can utilize 811. Again, it's a free service. You're not paying to have a locate technician come out and mark the site for you. And it's all about identifying underground utility lines so you don't strike them, also keeping yourself safe as well, which is very important. And another thing to mention is here within the city of Fort Lauderdale jurisdiction, we've had more citations being written in the city of Fort Lauderdale. We had some enhanced civil fines that went up 2 years ago. The governor signed off, and they pertain to some gas lines that are critical, high priority subsurface installation. These are gas main for highly volatile liquids, or maybe a transmission line as well. And these are federal regulated lines. And the fine is, instead of $500, it went up to $2,500. And also the fire marshal can be brought in and be involved with investigation. And if they find someone did violate the law, they can issue a fine up to $50,000 in addition to that $2,500. So we have been seeing some $2,500 fines that have been written, especially here within the city of Fort Lauderdale. We do have an officer that's been very busy enforcing our law, and he's part of the city of Fort Lauderdale Police Department. So we have no enforcement authority. 811 does not, but we can educate those agencies that have that authority to enforce our law. And so over the past few years, he has written up more than 100 citations here in the city of Fort Lauderdale, actually more than any other part of the state. So a lot of stuff happening, a lot of work taking place, but there's also more municipalities that are looking at our law and looking to enforce, and maybe get the police department involved or get code enforcement, which is another agency that can enforce our law, government code inspector, and now, as I mentioned, fire marshal can also enforce 811, or the fire chiefs. So that's a quick update on 811. I don't know if anyone has any questions, but please go to our website. We're also going to revise our online ticket entry training and put out enhanced training for those people that prefer to go online and submit a ticket versus calling 811 to get a locate ticket request. So that just came out a few days ago as well. So thank you, Carlos, for doing a quick update on 811. Appreciate it.
Make sure you have your tickets when you call them in.
That's right.
And after the dust is settled, the fire marshal, the first thing he'll ask, who's the GC? Where's your ticket? You don't have your ticket?
Have you got documentation? Have your ticket, take pictures, make sure that you're taking safe and so forth. Yeah.
Sir, please ask questions when the presenter's up here, okay?
I was just saying, that wasn't a question.
So we like having some fun here, so I want to say thank you to everyone for joining us. Before you click off on the webinar, I want to thank our sponsors. I want to thank our hosts, the team from Styles. Thank you very much for having us here. I want to thank our title sponsor, Milwaukee. Thank you very much, Milwaukee. I want to thank Safe Ride Solutions for providing us with breakfast. Ms. Baca, thank you very much. I also want to make sure to thank the team at Kelly Cronenberg. Thank you very much, Cedric, who made sure that everything runs smoothly on the technology side. Very quick reminder, our safety fair is something which we put on each year. The goal of that safety fair is to educate workers who may not have safety training within their companies or at the job sites that they're working at. So we want to bring those folks into our safety fair. It's a one-day session where we provide 2 4-hour sessions and lunch for those workers and give them certificate level training. They walk out of there with a certificate of completion for their safety training. You'll see information on that coming out at the beginning of next week. I hope you share it on the job sites that you guys are on, and let's get those folks in and get them educated. I believe the last time we hosted the fair, we gave out almost 500 certificates and had close to 300 people walk out there safer and smarter than when they walked in, which is very important. This year, again, we're going to be returning to Miami-Dade College North Campus. It's a great facility. We'll have first aid training, fall safety. We'll also have equipment training classes. So make sure you check our website, sfagc.org, to make sure that you're up to date on all of our events, including our safety fair. That being said, thank you very much. We'll see you next month. The topic is going to be, we're going to be talking about heat illness. However, we're going to be tackling it from a different perspective. We're going to be talking about what to do if heat illness strikes one of your workers, what plan you have to have in place, what equipment you should have available, and what procedures you need to follow. So thank you all very much for joining us. Thank you guys for joining us here in person. For those of us here in person, we're going to be giving out a prize. Rosario, you can't win it. You've already won it twice. So, you know, benefits of coming in person. There's some breakfast, some great networking, and some good prizes. So thank you all very much. Have a great morning, and we'll see you next month.